Ever wondered what's the best breeding schedule for goats in the USA according to time zones? Welcome to Farming Know-How, the place where we explore the ins and outs of all things farming. Today, we're delving into a topic that's crucial for every goat breeder out there, creating an optimal breeding schedule. Let's face it, figuring out the best breeding schedule for your goats isn't as simple as one might think. It's not just a matter of choosing a random date on the calendar. Instead, it requires careful consideration of various factors, including the breed of your goat, its health, and age. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. You see, goats are fascinating creatures. They're not like other farm animals. Each breed has its own unique characteristics and needs. This means that the best breeding schedule for a boar goat might not work for a Nubian goat. And let's not even get started on the health and age aspect. These factors can significantly impact the success of your breeding efforts. But that's not all. Believe it or not, the geographical location of your farm, or more specifically your time zone, can also play a significant role in determining the best breeding schedule. That's right, whether you're in the Eastern, Central, Mountain, or Pacific time zone, can influence when you should breed your goats. Now you might be thinking, why should I care about all this? Well, understanding these factors can help you maximize your breeding success. It can ensure that your goats are healthy and productive, ultimately leading to a more profitable farming operation. So, are you ready to take your goat breeding game to the next level? Excited to learn more about how you can optimize your breeding schedule according to your time zone? If so, you're in the right place. Before we jump into the details, do us a favor. If you enjoy our content, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel. This way, you won't miss out on any of our upcoming videos. Stay tuned as we dive into the details of the best breeding schedules across different time zones in the USA. Before we delve into the specifics of time zones, it's important to understand the basics of goat breeding. Goat breeding is a fascinating process steeped in nature's rhythms, and can be influenced by a variety of factors. The first thing to note is that goats are seasonal breeders. This means that they have a specific time of the year when they come into heat, or estrus, and are ready to mate. For most breeds, this season typically falls in the late summer or early fall, although there are exceptions. Now, how does this work? Well, the doe, or female goat, comes into estrus approximately every 21 days during the breeding season. The onset of the breeding season is often influenced by the decreasing daylight hours, a phenomenon known as photoperiodism. This is nature's way of ensuring that the offspring or kids are born in the spring when resources are plentiful. During estrus, which lasts for roughly 1 to 2 days, the doe will display signs of readiness to mate such as increased activity, tail wagging, and vocalizing. This is the ideal time for the buck, or male goat, to be introduced for mating. Successful mating results in a gestation period of approximately 150 days, leading to the birth of 1 to 3 kids. However, bear in mind that these are general guidelines and actual breeding seasons can vary based on factors such as breed, location, and individual goat health. For instance, some breeds like the Nigerian dwarf and pygmy goats can breed year-round, while others like the boar goats have a more defined breeding season. Understanding these basic principles of goat breeding is crucial to devise an effective breeding schedule. It's all about striking a balance between the natural rhythms of the goats and the practical needs of your farm. Now that we've got the basics covered, let's move on to the main topic of today's video: breeding schedules according to time zones. Starting from the east, let's explore the best breeding schedule for goats in the Eastern Standard Time Zone. Here, the optimal breeding season typically begins in late summer, around mid to late August. This timing allows for a gestation period of roughly 5 months, leading to kids being born in the chillier months of January or February. Why is this timing important, you ask? Well, these winter births allow the kids ample time to grow and develop before the heat of the summer sets in, thus ensuring their optimal health and growth. It's also worth noting that goats are seasonally polyestrous animals, meaning they come into heat in response to decreasing daylight hours. This natural cycle aligns perfectly with the suggested breeding schedule, but of course it's vital to keep in mind that these are general guidelines. Every goat herd and every farm is unique. You may need to adjust this schedule based on your specific situation, local weather conditions, and the overall health of your goats. Remember, these are general guidelines and may need to be adjusted based on your specific situation. Moving along to the Central Standard Time Zone, let's see how the breeding schedule adjusts. In this region, the best time to start breeding your goats is around late summer to early fall, specifically from August to September. This time frame allows for the gestation period, typically around 5 months, to run its course without the goats having to endure the harsh winter conditions during the later stages of pregnancy. By planning your breeding schedule this way, the kids are born in the relatively milder conditions of late winter to early spring, providing them with a better chance of survival and growth. It's also worth noting that this schedule aligns with the natural breeding cycle of goats, which is triggered by decreasing daylight hours in the fall. But remember, these are just guidelines. Factors like the specific breed of your goats, their health, and your farm's specific conditions can all influence the ideal breeding schedule. Again, these are general guidelines and individual circumstances may require adjustments. Next up, we have the Mountain Standard Time Zone. Let's see how the breeding schedule changes here. In this region, the optimal breeding schedule for goats tends to fall between late summer and early fall. That's around August to September. Why, you ask? Well, this is when the days start to shorten, triggering the natural breeding instincts in goats. The gestation period for goats is typically around 150 days, or approximately 5 months. So, if you start your breeding in August or September, your goats will be due to kid around January or February. This timing is great because it allows the newborns to grow and thrive during the warmer spring months. But remember, these are general guidelines. The exact timing can vary based on factors such as the specific breed of your goats, their age, and overall health. As always, remember to adjust these guidelines based on your unique circumstances. Last but not least, we have the Pacific Standard Time Zone. Let's explore the best breeding schedule for this area. In the Pacific Standard Time Zone, the optimal breeding season for goats typically starts in late summer, around late August or early September. This timing allows for kids to be born in the early spring, when the weather is milder and food is more abundant. The gestation period for goats is roughly 5 months, so timing your breeding schedule with this in mind is crucial. By breeding in late summer, your goats will be in the heart of their gestation period during the colder winter months. This gives them time to nourish and protect their offspring before the challenges of birth and early life in the spring. It's important to note that this is a general guideline. Your specific circumstances, environment, and breed of goat may require adjustments to this schedule. Remember, these recommendations should be adapted to your specific situation. So, there you have it, a comprehensive guide to the best breeding schedules for goats across the different time zones in the USA. We've journeyed together from the Eastern Standard Time Zone, through the Central and Mountain Zones, and finally to the Pacific Standard Time Zone, each with their unique characteristics and optimal breeding periods for your goats. We started by delving into the fascinating world of goat breeding. We learned about the factors that influence the breeding schedule and how these schedules can impact the productivity and health of your herd. We then took a virtual trip through the 4 major time zones in the USA. In the Eastern Zone, we learned that early fall around September is the best time to start breeding. Then we moved to the Central Zone, where the optimal time shifts slightly to late fall, around October. Next, we ventured into the Mountain Zone, where the best time to breed your goats is in the early winter, ideally in November. And finally, we landed in the Pacific Zone, where late winter, specifically December, is the most optimal time for breeding. Remember, these are general guidelines. It's crucial to adapt these schedules to your specific circumstances, considering factors like your farm's location, the goat breed, and seasonal weather patterns. You know your herd best, and can make the most informed decisions for their well-being. But no matter where you farm, understanding and implementing a well-planned breeding schedule can significantly improve your productivity and ensure the health of your goats. It's all about giving your herd the best chance to thrive. We hope you found this information helpful. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, Farming Know-How. We're here to provide you with more farming tips and tricks, always aiming to make your farming journey a little easier and a lot more rewarding. So don't miss out on our upcoming content. Until next time, happy farming.